Watching this video, that means you've completed 1 through 6 on your practice assignment, and we're going to go over point slope form, and that will help you finish the back side of practice 3. So let's take a look at what point slope form is. So point slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So it's important to notice that x1, y1 is a point on a line. So if we're given a point 2, 3, if we're given a point -6, -8, that's what we're going to use to represent x1 and y1. So when is this useful to us? When can it help us? So this is the most useful when we write linear equations given a point and a slope, hence the name point slope, or when we are given 2 points. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get some practice with point slope form. So first and foremost, put these equations into point slope form. And for me, it's easier to look at this like a puzzle. So here's how I do it when I do it like a puzzle. So what I do is I set up my puzzle to start off with. Okay, so this blank right here is going to be the opposite of my y coordinate. That's what that minus y1 means, is the opposite of my y coordinate. In this blank right here, I'm going to have the slope. And in this blank right here, I'm going to have the opposite of my x coordinate. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fill out my puzzle. So in here goes my slope, so I'm going to put my -6. Now remember that points go x and then y. So 9 is my x coordinate. So I'm going to go ahead and put the opposite of my x coordinate. So that's going to be -9. I want you guys to know that that doesn't mean a -9. That actually means that you are subtracting off 9. It's the opposite sign. And since we have a +2, the opposite of the y is going to be subtracting 2. So this is y minus 2. Again, both of these are subtraction symbols, not negative symbols. Y minus 2 is equal to -6 times x minus 9. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at number 8. Again, I'm going to set up my puzzle. And the blanks mean the same thing as they did on number 8. So the first blank is the opposite of my y coordinate. Well, my y coordinate is -3. So in here I'm going to write +3. Notice I didn't write y3, that I wrote y plus 3. You do need addition or subtraction in there. Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put in our slope, which goes here. And then we want to go ahead and put the opposite of our x coordinate, which goes there. So that's your final answer for number 8. So let's take a look at number 9. So when you're doing these, you have to actually calculate out the slope first. So you're going to do y2 minus y1 on top. So what I like to do first and foremost is I like to label my x and my y. So I have x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is 4, so I'm going to take y2 minus y1. Now remember that when you subtract a negative, it becomes plus a positive. So that's going to be 4 plus 12. Then on the bottom, we're going to have 8 minus 4. Okay, so then we're going to do 4 plus 12 is 16. 8 minus 4 is 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So now we have our slope. So now we can put it into point slope form. So to put it into point slope form, we have to choose one of the 2 points. And it actually doesn't matter which point you choose. Either one represents the same equation. So for fun, let's just use the second point. So again, I'm going to set up my puzzle. So the slope goes here. And then here's going to be the opposite of my y coordinate. Well, since my y coordinate is a +4, I'm going to put in a -4. And then here's the opposite of my x coordinate. Since my x is a +8, I'm going to do -8. So this right here is your point slope form. Again, you could have used the other point as well, and it would have meant the same thing. Now let's take a look at number 10. Again, let's label it out. x1, y1, x2, y2. So then I'm going to do y2 minus y1. Now remember that's going to become plus a positive whenever you subtract a negative. And then x2 minus x1, again, that's going to become plus a positive. Well, 2 plus 7 is going to give me 9. 2 plus 4 is going to give me 6. So 9 and 6 are both divisible by 3. So when you divide both by 3, you end up getting 3 over 2. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's put it into a puzzle. So then what we're going to do is we're going to set up our puzzle. Again, you can choose either point. Let's just choose the first point this time. So we're going to put in our slope. So then we want to do the opposite of our y coordinate here. So since it's a -7, I'm going to do a +7. And since it's a -4, I'm going to do a +4. So this right here is your point slope form. Try doing it with the other coordinate point if you need some practice. Okay, last but not least, let's take a look at writing things in slope-intercept form. Now, when you are given a point, okay, and the slope, you have to start by using point-slope form. You can't just put it into slope-intercept form. So that's what we're going to do to start off with, is we are simply going to put this in point-slope form. So here is going to be our slope, which is -3. Then here, opposite of our y-coordinate, which is -3, and here, opposite of our x-coordinate, which is going to be +2. Now, if you think back to slope-intercept form, remember that it's solved for y. So that's exactly what we're going to do here, is we're going to solve for y. So I'm going to start by distributing. So I have y minus 3 is equal to -3 times x, which is -3x, -3 times 2, which is -6. And last but not least, to solve for y, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So then I get that y is equal to a -3x, and -6 plus 3 is going to give me a -3. Now you guys have a different number 12 on yours. You have the point -4, 5, and the point 2, 7. So in order for us to put this into point slope form and then slope intercept form, we have to calculate out the slope. So I have x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to do y2 minus y1 over x2, x2 minus x1, and remember subtracting a negative becomes plus a positive. So I end up getting 12 divided by 6, which is 2. So now I know my slope is 2, and again, you can choose either of these points. It doesn't matter. Let's pick the first point. So we have y, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up the puzzle. So I have a 2 here, that's where my slope's going to go. Here, opposite of my y-coordinate, which is a +5, so I'm going to write -5. And then here, opposite of my x-coordinate, which is a -4, so I'm going to write +4. And now to get this into slope-intercept form, I need to solve for y. So I'm going to start by distributing. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 4 is 8. Last thing I need to do is bring that 5 over to the other side. So then I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides. And I get y is equal to 2x, and 8 plus 5 is going to give me 13. So that concludes your note video, and you can go ahead and finish up that practice sheet now. Thanks for listening.